Hey guys, it's Katie. I know, super long time no see, like maybe close to a year, which usually means that I've had some setbacks with my cancer journey, which is exactly what this time off meant for me. I was in and out of treatment, on and off chemotherapy, had some surgeries. Even recently, I had a rod placed in my femur. I have not been in the mind space to record videos. The first video back is going to be using some of my throwback products of makeup, things either that came out a long time ago or I just haven't used in years. Some things are no longer used or they've been reformulated. Other things, they're still pretty much a cult favorite, but just things in my collection that have been around for a while. So let's just get started. And yeah, this is not a tutorial, it's just for fun. So I'm going to, oh gosh, when I look in the viewfinder, my under eyes are so bad, and that is thanks to the last year that I've been on chemotherapy. Anyway, and rep the folklore shirt, Taylor Swift, my girl. Okay, what I'm going to start with is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, which I thought, at first I was like, I don't want to include this because Becca's going out of business. But my second thought was, do include it so if people watch it and they like it, they still have the chance to get it. So it is just like, what does it even say? It's basically just an illuminating face primer that gives your skin a little bit extra glow. It just, yeah, I feel like it brightens your face right up. And then a true throwback, the Loreal True Match Foundation, the original one. They had this, and then they came out with the True Match Lumi, which I also like, but I don't have right now, and the True Match Lumi Cushion, which is my favorite, but then they discontinued that line or something, of course. This one, I would say, is a very natural finish. Light to medium coverage, I would say, and just a natural kind of satin finish. Nothing matte, nothing glowy, but that's why I put that illuminating, why can't I say that word? That illuminizing primer underneath. Okay, and another thing that is still around, still very widely used today, is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser. You can see I still have about half of mine left, so that means I do use it. For a while, this got as much hype at the drugstore when this came out as Tarte Shape Tape did when that came out a few years ago. Everybody thought it was the concealer to have. And when it first came out, I was too young to be using makeup, so I didn't obviously fall into that hype then, but I have tried it since. I really struggle with dryness in my under eye area, so I am very particular and very finicky about any concealers I put under there, because a lot of the times I don't even set them with any powder. We can work with this. We can work with this. Okay, so far we're, what, 3 for 3 of things still working, still liking. Business has since gone out of business, I think at the end of last year, and it wasn't widely available at the drugstores. It was more like, I don't know, in Walgreens and CVS's and stuff, I think. And it's Jordana, and this is the, what's it called? Sculpt and Go Contour Stick. I really don't have anything else that's a throwback. That's a true contour. I have bronzers, but this is the really only true contour thing. One of my favorite brushes I love for contour is this e.l.f. brush. It doesn't even say, but it probably is a contour brush because it's so thin, but yet dense enough to be able to move your cream products around. Bronzer. The Milani Baked Bronzer. I know they have, I think, repackaged their baked bronzers and blushes. I think I've seen. I obviously got this years and years ago. I have the shade 04 Glow. And it is a little bit of an orangey bronzer. But if you don't overload the product, it looks pretty natural. And it does just give you that sheeny glow that I love this time of year. I sometimes kind of take the leftover of my bronzer and make that like wave shape to make it look like I got some sun. Did have the Milani Baked Blushes picked out for the blush category, but something that I personally feel is more throwback in my collection because it was the first ever type of blush I bought from the drugstore when I was in high school, and it is the CoverGirl Cheekers line. I mean, I have used up several of the Cheekers blushes in my beauty time, and they don't, I will say, they do not swatch well at all. They swatch quite terribly. I mean, they'll get on your finger, but when you try to put them on your hand, I mean, they seem like as if they're going to be chalky or, you know, not as pigmented, but girl or boy, when you put them on your cheek, they're just so good and they last throughout the day. Hey guys, iced cappuccino, I think. Shade 130. I like to obviously bring it up in a sweeping motion and then even a little bit on my temples because that just gives you that natural angle to your face shape. Who knows? Dab a few spots on the forehead. No one's gonna know. For highlighter, oh yes, this is another cream product I get to use. Let's go back to the Benefit High Beam. This stuff, I hope I never run out. I hope they never discontinue because it was a great cream highlight before cream products were a thing. I mean, this was years and years ago. And it is just this subtle light pink, but when you rub it out, it just gives you like that type of glow where if you turn and your cheeks hit just the right light, I mean, you look like a porcelain doll. It's so good. And you can rub it right on your cheeks, blend it in with a finger, and it does not pick up anything underneath. It does not mess with the powder products that you've put it on top of. Beam it up. I hope you can see that like goddess porcelain glow. I love it. I even have, this is like a deluxe size of it, and I have a little bit bigger size in my collection as well because if I only could pick one highlight for the rest of my life, I think it would be this one because it's natural, yet it's there. Next, maybe brows. I don't have a lot of throwback brow products. I to be honest, not until I went through chemotherapy and lost a lot of my brow hairs did I ever even use a brow product in the first place. So that was just a few years ago. So what you see today, these brows are what have stayed after a year of chemotherapy. So I will say the oldest product I have for brows is the Wunderbrow. I feel like there was a time when this was like touted as a life-changing product for your brows. So I'm just going to put it on. And I think the hype about this was that it gives your brow, it was one of the first things that gave your brow color and had like a gel inside it. So that's what one looks like compared to the other. I'm going to go in with a little spoolie. It's about as good as it's going to get. That's one area of beauty that I don't like having to do. It's time consuming and I'm not really good at it, but this will do for now. Oh, and I think you can still get this. And I have the shade Brunette, which works out pretty well for me. And then going in with the primer potion, the eye primer, I just gave it away. Who had the OG best eyeshadow primer? Urban Decay, their primer potion. Like this saved my life because in high school and college I had extremely oily lids, but I loved to wear eyeshadow, but it just creased so badly. And this changed the game for me. So that's why I have trouble using any other eyeshadow primer, because I know this one is expensive, but one, I know how much it has worked for me, and two, it lasts forever. You literally need the smallest amount to rub between your two fingers and spread on your eyes. So the eyeshadow, are we ready to eyeshadow? I guess so. The eyeshadow I'm going to use now, I had a lot of things to choose from because I like old school drugstore like trios and quads yet. I still think they're good. One that I bought, I was probably early high school, that still works so well today is this L'Oreal Quad, and I'm sure it's in different packaging now, in the shade Perfume ID 525. And the pigmentation is still so good. I know back in the day, drugstore eyeshadows were kind of hit and miss. Oh, so good. So I'm going to go ahead and use every color here. Here I will swatch them first. Look at those. And there's one right here, but it's like the brow bone highlight, so you can't really see the shade, but the purple, lavender, the deeper purple, the champagne color, and the lighter icier color. Just so good. So good. So I am going to speed through this section while I put this all over my face. Okay, so these are the eyes using every shade in that L'Oreal Quad. I feel like I started gravitating towards those because usually on the back they kind of gave you a mini diagram of how to use them. My favorite eyeliner is, my favorite throwback eyeliner is one I no longer have. It was by the brand NYC, and it was a brush tip liquid liner. I went through probably 3 whole little bottles of that. But besides that, another throwback is, of course, the Urban Decay eyeliners, the 24/7 Glide On eye pencils. I have 3 shades, black, brown, and a purple shade. So maybe I will go in a little bit with this purple shade called Psychedelic Sister. And just a little bit. So like a, kind of like a royal purple. And I put that in my, along my upper lash line and then in my lower waterline. Mascara, we have two steps left, mascara and lips. For mascara, so an OG product for mascara that I have used ever since I tried it for the first time, probably back in high school, is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black mascara. I do the regular version, I do the carbon black version, I do the version, this one is the curved brush. This is a phenomenal mascara. It's one of those that it's very wet in the beginning, so you might have to let dry. I use that as my second mascara over my CoverGirl Clump Crusher, and it's the perfect combo because, as I've said in previous videos, the Clump Crusher really spreads out your lashes. It kind of gets a hold of each individual lash, spreads them out so there really are no lashes clumped together. And then the, where did I set it? The L'Oreal Voluminous comes in and just thickens each of those lashes, and it just looks so good. Okay, and then for the lips, I pulled out 3 different products for the lips, and especially ones that would somewhat go with this lavender lilac eye look. And they are all throwbacks. I think the biggest throwback is this NYX Mega Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Beige. So it's not really beige, it's very much a light pink gloss that everybody had, so much so that it became impossible to find. So that's Beige. I also pulled out the L'Oreal Infallible Paints. I don't even know if these are still available or if they even only have maybe a couple shades available. But these are really awesome. This is not, it's a very similar shade to the NYX gloss, just a little bit softer, not as bright. There's a little more mauve in it. And then the last one, guys, you can't do a throwback makeup products video without including the NYX butter glosses. I have about 4 or 5 of them. The shade I picked out that might work today is the shade Cranberry Biscotti. So I will swatch that as well. Ooh, this is deep. So that's a Cranberry Biscotti. All still great formulas, still things I reach for today. Actually, a lot of the times this NYX one, before the last year when I was going places, would stay in my purse. What should I go for today with this look? This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Cranberry Biscotti. You know, it's not bad with this eye look, but I think I do want to try one of these other ones on top. I'm going to go for the NYX, the regular NYX one, the Mega Shine in the shade Beige on top. Ah, look at it. I kind of love it. I kind of love it. I love that with lips that you can easily take off and choose another color or just start throwing colors together until you land on something you like. Okay guys, so this is the final look I put together with some of my favorite throwback makeup products. Honestly guys, these are still a win. I'm so glad I did this video, and I'm so glad to any of you who watched. Thank you if you were a subscriber from the beginning-ish, pretty much any video before this, and you stayed a subscriber through this like year-long wait, that was just another version of hell for all of us, not just because of what happened globally, but my health as well. My cancer journey didn't stop just because a pandemic happened. And it's been really scary times. So thank you for sticking through this. Guys, I can't promise how often I will be able to film and edit and upload videos. I'll do what I can, but you know, priority is not filming videos. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, guys. I'm so happy to have filmed it, and hopefully you'll be back and there will be more videos. Bye, guys.